Another year, another set of design trends we're leaving behind. And listen, some of these trends aged fast, like scary fast. If you renovated your house in the last few years, you might want to sit down for this one. I'm Blake, and if you're new here, welcome to Built by Becker, where we talk about real design for real homes. I've been building and remodeling for over 15 years now, and I've watched a lot of design trends. But the trends from the early 2020s, man, some of these aged like milk. And I'm gonna show you exactly which ones and what to do instead. By the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly which design choices from the last few years already look outdated, and more importantly, what actually last. Because timeless doesn't mean trendy. It means you won't regret it in 3 years. But before we dive in, if you're planning any kind of renovation or thinking about updating your space, I've got something special. It's gonna save you a ton of headaches. I put together a complete design starter kit that walks you through the entire process. Planning, budgeting, picking finishes that will actually last. It's the same system that I use with my own clients. The link is in the description below. And trust me, you're gonna want this before you make any big design decisions. All right, now let's talk about what's already looking dated. Number one, all beige everything. Okay, let's start with the big one. The all beige, all greige, every surface the same neutral look that absolutely dominated homes from about 2020 to 2024. Now, before you come at me in the comments, I'm not saying neutrals are bad, because neutrals are great. But when everything is the same shade of that builder beige, when your walls, your floors, your furniture, your curtains, you're all swimming in a sea of taupe. And that's when we've got a problem. Everyone got so scared of color that we all just stopped. We painted everything beige. We bought beige furniture, beige rugs, beige pillows. And then we wondered why our homes felt so flat and boring. Someone will say, well, I wanted it to look expensive and timeless. And then they pick the safest, the most neutral option for literally everything. And you know what? Safe doesn't always equal timeless. It can equal boring. The real issue is that when everything is monochromatic, there's no depth, there's no interest, nothing for your eyes to grab onto. It's like looking at a room through a beige filter. Even if the individual pieces are nice, the whole space just feels blah. But trust me, you don't need to go wild with color to fix this, but you do need contrast. Some variation, some personality. Keep your neutrals if you love them, that's totally fine. But add in different tones. Mix warm and cool. Bring in some texture. Darker wood tone here. Some black metal there. Maybe a rich accent color in your art or throw pillows. Number two, gray vinyl flooring. Oh man, gray vinyl. I think I've talked about this in at least 2 or 3 videos recently. This flooring was everywhere in the last few years, and people are still installing it today. Every time I see it, I die a little bit on the inside. Here's the thing about gray vinyl. It was trendy, it was cheap, and it looked modern for about 2 years. And now it screams, I renovated my property in 2018. The problem is, it's just overdone. It's that most gray vinyl flooring looks fake, like really fake. Like it's trying to mimic wood, but it doesn't have the depth, the grain variation, or the warmth of real wood. It's just flat, cold, and artificial looking. I've worked on so many houses where the homeowners are fighting against their gray vinyl, trying to make the space feel warm and inviting. And it's just not happening because that cold gray is working against them at every turn. So if you're planning a renovation, skip the gray vinyl, please. Go for natural wood tones like light oak, walnut, or even warm-toned engineered hardwood. These will never look dated because wood is a natural material. It has character, it has warmth, and it works with basically any color palette. But if you're already stuck with gray vinyl floors, don't panic. You can work around it. Add warm-toned area rugs, a lot of them. Cover that up. Bring in furniture with warmer wood tones to balance out the coolness. Add textiles and terracotta, rust, warm beiges. Basically do everything you can to add warmth back into that space. Boucle furniture everywhere is number 3. All right, now don't shoot the messenger, but boucle furniture, especially the white curved boucle sofa, is officially overdone. Now listen, boucle is a beautiful fabric. It's soft, it's cozy, it's tactile. But when everything in the room has white boucle sofa, a boucle chair, a boucle ottoman, it stops being special and it starts being cliche. This trend exploded around 2022 and peaked really hard in 23. Everyone wanted that soft, minimalistic, Instagram-worthy, curvy, puffy boucle. And for a while, well, it worked. But now, walk into any furniture store, scroll through any home decor account, and it's boucle, boucle, boucle. And honestly, I get it. If you love soft, cozy, and the vibe of boucle, that's great. but mix it up. Choose a different color. Think warmer tones like caramel, olive, green, or even a rich charcoal. Or keep the white, but pick a different fabric with texture like a chunky knit, a linen, or even velvet. Better yet, don't make bouclé the star of your whole room. Use it as an accent, a single chair. Beautiful. An entire room of bouclé? Overdone. Here we go, guys. Slatted wood accent walls. I talked about this in my video at the end of the year in 25, and oh boy, here we go. The TikTok do-it-yourself trend that absolutely exploded, and I'm guilty of watching those as well. I get the appeal. They add texture. They're a creative visual interest. They add a relatively easy, minimalistic price, design, decor, install. But man, they're everywhere. And most of them, they're not done well. I've seen slatted walls in bedrooms, living rooms, behind TVs, and bathrooms, and 9 times out of 10, they look forced. Like somebody saw it online, slapped it on a random wall, and without thinking about it, they actually fit it in the space. The other issue is that the slatted walls are very much time-stamped detail. You kind of give a shiplap feeling about 10 years ago, or a painted accent wall, which was around 15 years ago. When a trend gets this popular this fast, it just ages quickly. I love the idea of adding texture to a wall, but there's so many better ways that you can do that won't look dated in 2 years. Maybe it's real wood paneling, board and batten, or picture frame molding. Even wallpaper these days is absolutely amazing. These are classic architectural details that have been around for decades and will continue to look good. If you've already installed slatted wall and you're happy with it, great. Keep it. I'm not saying anything bad about it, but if you're planning one, ask yourself, am I adding this to be meaningful to the space, or am I doing this because I thought it looked cool on YouTube? Then make your decision. Number 5, builder grade boob lights. Okay, we're gonna touch on one of my favorite things, and that's lighting, specifically bad lighting. And nothing says builder grade quite like a little boob light. You know what I'm talking about, these dome-shaped flush mount lights that look, well, like boobs. They're in every new cheap build, every rental property, every house that was upgraded on a budget, and man, they've just never looked good. Not in 95, not in 2005, and not in 2026. They're cheap, they create harsh overhead lighting, and they make every room look flat and uninviting. The problem with boob lights, aside from the obvious, is that they are the only light source in most rooms, and that sad little fixture blasting light straight down, leaving the corners dark and creating zero atmosphere. It's the lighting equivalent of giving up. I walk into houses all the time where every room has one of these lights, and the homeowners are like, I don't know why the space feels so bad. Well, it's lighting. It's always lighting. So the fix, take them out. Seriously, take them out, replace them with absolutely anything other than those silly dome lights. Flush mounts or semi-flush with actual design, pendant lights if you got the ceiling height, modern ceiling fixtures that don't look like they came from the clearance aisle at Home Depot. But if you ask me, the real fix is to layer your lighting. One ceiling fixture should never be your only light source. Floor lamps, table lamps, wall sconces, spread light sources around the room at different heights. That's what creates ambience, warmth, and makes a space feel inviting. Good lighting can transform a room. Bad lighting will make even the nicest space look cheap. It's that simple. Number 6, modern farmhouse on steroids. All right, this is the last one, and it might be controversial, but we need to talk about it. The modern farmhouse overload. Now, before the pitchforks come out, I'm not saying farmhouse style is bad. Well done, it could be beautiful, warm, inviting, cozy. But when you take every single element of the trend and cram it into one space, that's when we've got a problem. I'm talking about shiplap on every wall. A barn door in every room. Galvanized metal, everything. Gather signs, Edison bulbs, distressed wood furniture, open shelving, white dishes, all in one house. This trend peaked hard from around 2016 to 2020 thanks to some really, really great shows on TV. You know which ones I'm talking about. And for a while, it was great. Then it got oversaturated. Everyone wanted the farmhouse look, so manufacturers started pumping out cheap versions of everything. Fake distressed wood, mass-produced rustic signs, barn doors that aren't actually like barn doors. And then you walk into a house that's full of these modern farmhouse everything, and it just feels dated. Like someone tried really hard to replicate a specific aesthetic instead of creating a home that actually reflects who they are. And at this point, you need to keep up with what you love and ditch the rest. The key is timeless design, not going all in on a trend. It's blending styles, eras, and aesthetics in a way that feels personal and collected over time. Modern farmhouse can absolutely still work, but it needs to be edited. refined, mixed with contemporary elements and traditional places. Think farmhouse inspired, not farmhouse theme. And please, for the love of all that's good, no more gather signs. We get it. This is where you gather. And there you have it. 6 design choices from the past few years that are absolutely dated and dead. And what do you do instead? Just remember, timeless design isn't about following trends. It's about choices that work for your home, your lifestyle, your personal design choices. Trends are fun, but they shouldn't be the foundation of your entire space. That's it, and that's what matters. If this helped you out, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. And don't forget to grab that design starter kit. Links in my description. Gonna save you so much time, so much money, and more importantly, so much regret. I'll see you on the next one. And I'm Blake from Built by Becker.